Why is Piers so well dressed today? That's what I want to know.
He's always
No, he's not. Oh, he's standing as mayor. No, good for you. Good for you, standing.
Do not comply. Resist. Defy. Do not comply.
Love your shirt and tie.
Defy.
I'm just showing you this. It's windy, so I can only hold it for a bit.
There would be no more war. You're in Israel.
I'm going to put this down.
Broke into Israel and killed over all those people. I was there. And if Hamas was to step down from power and surrender because he's lost.
He will never step down. Hamas will never step down.
Okay, shall I begin?
Yes.
So why is Netanyahu in 2019 saying we need to
Please, no COVID today. Let's have a
Go over there. Go over there. Go on. You want to speak and I'll give it to you. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, Piers Corbyn.
Okay. Starting again. Peace now. Peace now. Peace now. Peace now. Peace now.
Do you know what you're doing?
She's the Bible is camera. Oh, I've got one.
Okay. All right, come on.
All right, it's windy today.
They can give you a time in a second.
You're looking in the wrong direction. Israel have every right to defend it.
That is true, of course.
No, I know.
No, that's
Okay. Okay. It's windy today.
will be destroyed very soon, once and for all.
Oh, you don't say that.
It will be.
It's windy today. It's windy today. As tropical storm, ex-tropical storm, actually not a tropical storm, as Storm Kathleen moves away. Now, where did this storm come from? I'm telling you this because we do this each time there's something big. There was an Earth-facing coronal hole on the top of the sun, actually a polar coronal hole on April, the 1st of April, 31st of March.
Explain that.
And then 2 days later, that storm, Kathleen, was formed. Sorry, 4 days later. 4 days later.
What's a corona hole? Explain.
The sun is surrounded by a corona, which you can only see when there's an eclipse.
The heliosphere.
Yes. You can only see it when there's an eclipse. You can only see it when there's an eclipse, and when a hole's in it, very fast electrons come out, and they can affect what happens on Earth through magnetic connections. That happened for the formation of Kathleen 4 days after the coronal hole, and more interestingly, maybe 2 days after these coronal holes on the top of the sun, the big earthquake was formed in Taiwan. A 7.4, the biggest one since January the 1st this year. So, the reason why I'm telling you this is because, you know, the sun drives everything and we're in the middle of nonsense talk about man-made carbon dioxide. But furthermore, on Monday, there's a solar eclipse, a total solar eclipse, and in those situations, in America, in those situations, the sun-earth magnetic connections are greater, and there can be more formation of storms, extra rain, and everything like that happen during eclipses, for example. So look out for that. Now, the news going on about me and the mayorship. We've been in the High Court, as people know, seeking an injunction against the London Elects operation, preventing my continuing standing as mayor. And this has been adjourned, and this process is going to happen on Monday. So if people want to come on Monday, come to the High Court, Royal Courts of Justice in the Strand at 10 a.m.
Well, can I say,
put information there.
You must be allowed, and seriously, I don't agree with you, but you must be allowed
Well, that's right.
You must be allowed to stand.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm not going into all the reasons.
I wouldn't vote for him, but he must be allowed to stand.
I'm not going into all the reasons because that could be some duty. But
What's the legal issue?
well, I'm not going to go into it because it's there's a number of legal issues, and it could mean the whole election has to be stopped if they don't allow me to stand. They have made serious errors. I won't talk about them now, but come along 10 AM, the High Court in the Strand. And for further timings, if it changes to something else, check on the website, Piers_Corbyn_stop new normal. Which brings me to the point of money. These things cost money.
Money's good, yeah.
And
You're going to give us some
this
money?
lady here's got a box. Who's got a box? This lady's got a box. She's collecting money, and anyone who wants to give more, I've got a magic card. Sorry, this isn't a cash machine, but it is a cash machine, but not for cash, if you see what I mean.
Have you got money in there now?
We had to spend 108 on it on Friday. We might have to spend more on Monday. Now, how and why am I going to win if allowed in? And what will happen if I'm not allowed in? Number one, if I'm not allowed in, it will prove the mega corporation dictatorship of the Mayor of London should be dismantled and destroyed. And as people know, I'm supporting with Lawrence Fox on this, that the mayoralty must be disbanded. And as mayor, I would campaign to do all the things we've got to do, and then at the end of my term, we would disband the mayoralty and give power back to the local authorities. You should applaud that, guys. Now, the important thing about what I'm doing is that I will be calling for actions, measures against all those who profit from war. Entirely different from the other candidates.
We all profit from war.
The
what are you
others
talking about?
who are
All of our
scrabbling.
shares, all of our pensions, everybody's profiting from
We
it.
would
Direct profiteers. People are
Direct.
absolutely-
Oppose these
We're
people.
all indirect profiteers. Come on.
Well,
No problem
we
with
can
the
be
whole
very
system.
specific about
It's a
it.
systemic problem. You can't deal with it.
Yeah, so you did nothing, right? Except interrupt a meeting. Yes, okay. Well, like you already mentioned, Palantina. Well, I would say, what are you doing here? I'd use measures to chuck them out of London. What about the drones? The drones which killed those aid workers were made in England. Made in England. So I would say we have to close down those companies, we have to boycott those companies, and as Mayor of London, I would announce all measures, and people could join in as well. We would take action directly against all those who profit from war. And furthermore, all the other candidates of any significance are pro-war. They're linked up with each other, and they will never raise practical fights against warmongers, as Haiku explained is possible. Okay, now another reason to show why we can see why the mega corporation of the Greater London Authority has to be disbanded is what happened yesterday. 2 days ago, no, 1 day ago, 5 people and a dog were arrested for demonstrating against Sadiq Khan. They actually had an agreed demonstration with the police. They were around near his house, and it was peaceful and all that. They had a fixed time. Just before it ended, the police moved in and arrested 5 people.
Long before it
Long before. Okay. The point is, it was agreed, and clearly the police went there with the intention to arrest Nick and others. That was an utter monstrosity. I went there all in the evening, and we stayed there until they were released. Hadn't we stayed there, they probably wouldn't have been released till today. We don't know. But I want to thank everybody who turned up, who noticed about it online. It was really good. There were 60 people who turned up to defend those freedom fires. Well, what should we call them? The ULEZ 5 or the Carnage 5? Perhaps the Carnage 5. K-H-A-N-A-G.
Wasn't there 7?
Yeah, but we thought there were 7, and I made a special poster saying Carnage 7, but actually it was 5. We found out. 5 and a dog. Well, what's the pronoun of a dog? I don't know. Perhaps it was 6. It was 6 conscious beings were arrested. A dog is a conscious being, is it not? Yes. So, going back to the point about the mayoralty, we do have to disband these mega councils. They're growing all over the country deliberately. It's a new tier of government which will be direct ruled by the World Economic Forum. And what happens in Westminster will become irrelevant. You can see it. That's what happens now. Like Mayor Khan is in charge of the C40 cities around the whole of Europe, indeed the world, where they're imposing zoning on cities all over the world. They're just bypassing government. Well, as mayor of that, I'll be in charge of that. I would call a meeting and say we're going to have experts here to show you that man-made climate change does not exist, the greenhouse effect is fake physics, and you've got to close down all of this and end zoning. So, of course, there's a lot of reasons why they don't want me there. But we will, in practice, do things which will make a difference. There'll be a whole lot of other stuff. We'll reel out more stuff that I'll do practically. But let's be clear, I'll be a practical mayor. I would have debate everywhere. We'll have open discussion everywhere. We can have questions from the audience. We make real discussion. Unlike the fake left and pseudo left organising things to that. Okay, a quick question for you, sir.
You mentioned about the drones. The drones
Yes.
were made here. Is that accurate? Just parts
Yes.
of the drones were made here, or the entire drone? That's really important.
I don't know if it's the whole drone. A lot of it's probably made in China and then assembled here. But look, we will take action against all those involved. There will be a bank where they have an account. We say to that bank, you've got to close that account. You've got to get rid of those people. Will I have powers to do that? Well, maybe, maybe not. Well, I'll have a legal team that can find the powers. Look, currently we're using all sorts of powers against all sorts of businesses in the name of saving the planet for CO2. There's a war on CO2. Who would have believed that 10 years ago? All these crazy measures. Well, I will introduce just as strong measures against all those profiting from war. Let's be clear. It's all realistic, and it will involve people. We'll say to people, okay, this bank is making an account for that drone maker. Boycott that bank. That's what we say. And I'll put people outside it. Boycott this bank. And then you'd find, well, the bank would disown that account. That's what would happen. We will make a difference. Okay. Well, perhaps I'll end there and then have questions, but a little chant, of course. So, peace now, peace now, peace now, peace now, peace now. And I was also asked, what do we do in the general election when it comes? Well, obviously, we would support all those who agree with us on the basic issues under the United Front, not UK, such as men are men, women are women, and so forth. But there'll be a lot of places where it'll just be independents. Now, we'll ask independents, will they stand? So between now and a general election, we've got to do work in effectively making a unified force. My brother will be standing as an independent in his own constituency. We support him, obviously. Workers' Party is going to have a few candidates. We support those, obviously. But there'll be others. But we've got to work together to build a united front to make a difference. Okay, well, I think I'll end there with our usual slogan. Sorry, I haven't got it on here because I'm looking smart. But before that, 2 adverts again. 3 adverts. One is Monday, 10 AM, come to the High Court, check on Piers _Corbyn _stop new normal for any details of updates of what's happening. Secondly, on Tuesday, a meeting in Tottenham, again information in the same place, where Peter Ford is speaking on how these things are developing worldwide and how Galloway came to win on an international issue. And that's the link between international issues and bread and butter issues, which of course is very important for my campaign. We have to deal with the bread and butter as well as the international. And the third thing to mention is this meeting here, which we're handing out. And I'll be going there speaking, since I know a lot about all the things they're talking about. Okay, till we'll end there, please give some money. Where's he gone? Where's Hazel? Gone. People running away from money. Running away from money. Okay. Resist, defy, do not comply.
Resist, defy, do not comply.
Resist,
Defy, do not comply.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.